morning and welcome to Sport This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
Always a pleasure to have you join us to talk sports. I'm Austin Okonakpan.
It's great to have you join us again. I'm Taya Salam.
Okay, let's get started with the show. No, Austin, you're starting first, right? Starting with the five-a-side.
Okay, we're talking. Okay, we'll continue our look at five-a-side football developments in Nigeria. Remember last week we started a discussion with Mr. Habib Ibrahim. The story out of that one is that the Royals FC will represent Nigeria at the World Championship in Thailand. Will leave Lagos today and go to Rivers State, where they are also doing more to develop five-a-side football.
Okay, why those ones actually know what to do? Some federations don't even know what to do presently. I'm talking about Taekwondo. They're supposed to be going to Morocco for the qualifiers for the Olympics. But right now, some of the athletes are saying they don't know if they will be going for the championship in Morocco.
Yeah, that's not a good one at all, Cecilia. Also on the show, but this time in Melbourne, multiple Grand Slam champions Roger Federer, Serena Williams, and Maria Sharapova are still cruising on at the Australian Open after securing the spot in the third round. I mean, this is some sort of achievement considering the kind of players that have dropped in the first round.
That's right.
Nadal is out, Simona Alep, your friend Cecilia, is out as well. So Venus is out as well. So
Karolina Wozniacki is out,
Wozniacki as well, yeah.
Kuznetsova is out.
Wow.
it could have been any of these guys.
Yeah,
You know?
it could have been any of them.
any one of them.
So it looks good. Yesterday we're talking about upsets. Today the main guys are still cruising on.
Yeah.
But that's tennis for you. And remember we mentioned that with the women's category, it's fluid. Anything can come in. Kuznetsova, decent tennis player anytime, any day. You also don't expect her to leave in the first round, but I'm sure from Friday she'll be watching from home. And then Simona Halep, she did well with her tennis last year, and now she's out in the first round.
The 2 seed is out
Wow.
of the tournament.
Proper
And of course, what was actually funny about Sabina Kuznetsova is that she lost to a player ranked 92nd in the world. So when you're looking at these players, you're asking yourself, what is happening to the top players? It's like the road is actually clear now, so to speak, for the likes of Serena Williams, Maria Sharapova, if she can, actually overcome, that, I don't know, sometimes how do I put it now? Because sometimes she's very good. You say, okay, Maria Sharapova, she's favorite for a title. And at the end of the day, sometimes she just plays some games and she doesn't get to win a Grand Slam. Remember the last time she won Australian Open, she won it once. I mean, that was 2008. That's a long, long time ago. So she's one of the favorites to win the tournament. And you still have Williams in there. You still have some Victoria Azarenka, of course. She's still very much there. So these are the athletes you definitely want to watch. Ty, you have some of the results early hours of the day.
Yeah, early hours of this today. Maria Sharapova, like I said, she's still moving on. Wins for her as well too. And Serena Williams, she's through to the third round. Roger Federer defeated Alexander Dogopolov. That's a banana skin.
That's right.
Yeah, but it came through really pretty comfortably for Roger Federer in that one. Kai Nishikori as well too. We talked about him yesterday about being one of the dark horses.
That's right.
Still good to see him going on. He's in the third round as well. And Thomas Berdych.
Put him in that round too.
Thomas Berdych.
Put him in that round too.
Yeah, straightforward victory for him over Besic in that one. 6-love, 6-4, 6-3.
Let's go back and talk about that one between Roger Federer and Alexander Dogopolov. That's a game that, with all of the upsets we're seeing, Federer was going to tell himself, look, if I play, I'm out with this guy. Because Dogopolov has been in the ranks of Grigor and put Thomas Berdych in that mix. They want success. Yeah. So they're very decent players, but they know that against the big guys, they stand a little chance. But if they see a chance to go, they take it. So Roger Federer has shown us that, yes, when he needs character to play, we'll go play. 3 sets, went out there, did the business. Another guy that did his business, Thomas Berdych. That's one guy that can actually push the top guys all the way. So it's still looking competitive for the men. Aside for your friend.
Yeah, talking about
Rafael Nadal. Just told you guys that, look, I can't be as competitive as you guys want me to be. another good one. But I like the fact that Roger Federer still powers on. Andy Murray still doing his thing. Novak Djokovic still favorite. So the men's category competitive as ever.
Surely,
definitely.
surely. And out of all the dark horses you've been mentioning, you didn't mention Marin Cilic as well.
Marin
So what a
Cilic,
player.
that's right.
Still there. That's another player thing.
Waiting to hear from him today.
Exactly. That's another one that can give the top guns a run for their money.
That's
So,
right.
like you said, I agree with you. The men's singles event is going to be as competitive as ever. Going into the latter rounds.
Yeah, definitely. And you were talking about Rafael Nadal. What has been happening to him in recent times and all that. If you check most of his low lights, so to speak. I mean, he doesn't really be good. Yeah, career lows and all that. Since 2004, it's not been too good for him. He withdrew from the US Open with a wrist injury. That was in August in 2004. And that same 2004, in November, he undergoes a surgery. And of course, at the end of the day, he was out for a while. When he came back, and that was when he actually lost in the quarterfinals of the Australian Open to Thomas Berdych, 6-2, 6-love, 7-6. And of course, after that, in June 2005, he lost to Novak Djokovic. Remember, at the French Open quarterfinals, and that was actually straight 1, 7-5, 6-3, 6-1. Also, that same June, he dropped his ranking. For the first time, he was ranked 10th in the world, and this is Rafael Nadal we're talking about. And of course, in July 2005, I mean, there was actually concerns that he might just retire early from the tennis, especially at that time when he lost in the second round at Wimbledon to 122nd ranked player, Dustin Brown. You remember?
I still remember, the dreadlock.
Exactly.
Got us talking.
So he got us talking. We're like, is this the end of him?
We heard nothing about Dustin Brown.
Exactly. So, and another day in 2015, that was also in September also, when he actually threw away 2-set lead, in the US Open, he lost to Fabio Fognini. I mean, that was another one where like, okay, he's ending this year without a Grand Slam. That was the first time that was happening to him. So you're looking at Rafael Nadal, you're asking what happened. December 2015, he says, okay, he's going to definitely win. He wasn't sure if he was going to win a Grand Slam, and that was in December. He said he wasn't even sure. He doesn't even know if it was going to happen. We're like, okay, after a good run and all that, we felt, okay, Australian Open might just be a good start for him. But he lost. And I'm trying to go back to what he said in December in New Delhi. That was in India, when he says he's not sure he was going to win a Grand Slam again. Is that the end of Rafael Nadal?
Not too optimistic on the side, and I find that really, really strange for a player that is very competitive. So, find it really strange. But the summary of everything you said, Cecilia, is Rafael Nadal's career is decline has been quite alarming.
That's right.
It's been quite alarming.
And that's 2015 without a Grand Slam title. We expected him to come up, and give us a renewed spark. And then for saying this, I was going to say age is just 29.
Come on, is that even 30
Yeah,
years?
he's just 29.
Federer is 34, and if the player can fire 25 aces, come on, against the couple
But
of
again, not the same style of play. Left-handed,
We're gonna go
power
there
play
now.
player,
Yes.
and again likes pushing his opponent all the way. So when he met a Verdasco that can also push a player all the way, the one that wasn't strong that got pushed out of the way.
Exactly.
That's what Nadal needs to think. Like, come on, when I was dominant, I had so much energy, so much power going for me. Maybe I should just
slow
change
down
it.
now.
If I'm going to the baseline, no, let me make use of the nets now. Let me use of the shorter ball so I don't get to run too much. He has to start thinking of maybe we should also.
Should he change his coach?
Maybe.
Cecilia and Austin, Austin has just nailed it, for real. After the match yesterday, he's actually come out to say, you showed me that headline, tennis is changing. I've got to change my style as well. So I've got to change my strategy.
He also said it's crazy. He said tennis is crazy.
Yes, it is. Yeah, he understands now. And based on the style of play, like you say, power player chases every point down. But he's not as mobile as he used to be. He's not as fit as he used to be.
That's right.
A lot of injuries over recent years have slowed him down a bit. So perhaps it's time for him to, look for a different way of playing the game. And for that to happen, that might just be, just pushing aside Uncle Tony. His coach all through the that's his uncle. His coach, you can't take anything away from Coach Tony. He's coached him to 14 majors.
So
he's done something right. Perhaps it's just time for fresh
maybe
face,
Uncle is
new
not
ideas.
giving him that psychological balance he needs right now, mental strength. Come on, Usher told his mom, step aside, let me move my career forward. It's about time. If this guy can tell
Uncle
Tony,
step
thank you
aside.
so much. Let me see if I can get maybe a former player that understands what I'm going through,
Like Djokovic,
and take me out of it. So it's Andy Murray did the same thing. A lot of
Djokovic, of course, did it.
Boris Becker is doing so well.
With him. And since he got him, it's been winning.
Yeah, but you can understand why he'll find it hard to, to just push aside his uncle that he's known all his life.
Serena Williams, I mean, all through her career, it was about
exactly. So he's going to have to make that
tough, but at times she had to break
decision.
away and she got someone else.
Exactly.
So you have to make that decision and see how you can change your game to actually suit the tennis that is changing according to him.
I think
because even Roger Federer,
I think we've done well for Nadal. Let's leave Nadal's problems for Nadal.